What's up guys, Brendan Hancock here with another episode of Evanston Subaru Today. And today we've brought along this 2020 Subaru Outback. And today we're gonna tell you everything you need to know about Subaru's Eyesight system on the 2020 and 2021 Subaru vehicles. Let's go take a look. Now, while some vehicles, with Subaru are going to have additional features, such as things like, blind spot detection and rear cross traffic alert, or on some of the higher trim levels, we'll have things like reverse automatic braking where it prevents you from backing into something. Eyesight itself really refers to these cameras up here. And any of our Subaru vehicles that have Eyesight on them are rated at an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, which is the highest you can get. So there's a couple of features that come with these cameras, and they do see full 3D color imaging, kind of like a person does, which is really what makes them really the best out there. So a couple things that it has, you're going to have pre-collision braking. Now, pre-collision braking is not like, some have these little radar sensors in the front where it prevents you from bumping into a car if you're parking. This is more for preventing you from crashing into another vehicle, out on the road. So it's monitoring the vehicles in front of you, scanning the road. And if you don't do anything, like you're not paying attention, or a car cuts you off, or you're like, oh, that's some really nice architecture in that house over there, it's gonna slam on the brakes. It'll give you a couple of audible beeps. It'll go beep, 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 and then it's gonna slam on the brakes. Now, depending on which car you have, so for example, with the Outbacks, you do actually get a little light that would show up as well. It's a red light that shows on the front windshield before it brakes, with that audible signal, and then it's gonna slam on the brakes. Now, this isn't necessarily something you want to happen unless you absolutely needed it to, because if great, you didn't crash into that car, but that's not to say the guy behind you is not going to do it, because it's a pretty intense braking. And also, if let's say you did brake, but you didn't brake hard enough, it's going to apply additional force of the brake on top of what you were already doing. Now, it also has, there's no minimum, published speed on what speed you have to be going for pre-collision braking to work. My guess, though, is it's around 9 or 10 miles per hour, so it's not going to prevent you from tapping into a car in front of you. And then the maximum ability of it to completely prevent an accident is a difference in speed between you and said object of 40 miles an hour. So if you are going 50 into a brick wall, eyesight's going to kick in, but you're still going to hit that wall at 10 miles an hour. So, moral of the story, don't drive into a brick wall at 50 with a Subaru. Other things that it's going to have, it will have pre-collision throttle management. So basically what that does is, if I saw a light turn green and wasn't paying attention and the car in front of me hadn't gone, then it would actually cut my throttle to prevent and reduce the severity of me tapping that car and give me time to react there. It also has a lead vehicle monitoring system as well, so it's also going to let me know if I'm sitting at a stoplight and I'm texting on my phone and not paying attention and the car in front of me has gone. It's going to let me know, hey, that car's moved, pay attention, okay? The other thing that it's going to have is two other features. You're also going to get lane departure warning. So lane departure warning is using these cameras to monitor the vehicles on the road, and it's going to actually beep at you if you go out of your lane. Now, on Legacies and Outbacks, they call it something different, although it is the same thing. They call it lane departure prevention, and you have the option of doing just the audible signal where it just beeps at you, or you can do kind of a version of what on, for example, a Forester or Crosstrek would be called lane keep assist, where it will physically adjust your steering to keep you centered. Truly, whatever car you have, I don't typically recommend doing lane keep assist all the time, especially if you're, or lane departure prevention with all functions where it's both beeping and keeping you in the lane, especially if you live in a city. That one only works over 40 miles an hour, so really it's mostly used for highway use. One thing that we will take a look at here though today is the other feature of Eyesight, which is adaptive cruise control. Now, with Outbacks and Legacies, with adaptive cruise control, you have a steering wheel icon here, bottom right, on the right spoke of your steering wheel, and that actually is what's called lane centering. Now, it's the same thing as lane keep assist on, for example, a Crosstrek, but this one actually only works with cruise control, and it works much better than the normal lane keep assist on some of the other models. So I actually love using this with adaptive cruise control. And what I mean by adaptive cruise control is it's going to use the cameras to monitor vehicles in front of you, and once you set your cruise, it gives you the ability to set a certain amount of distance between you and the car in front of you. And it allows you to change between 1 and 4 seconds of travel time. So what I'm going to do here to use this, the cruise control is the same on any Subaru vehicle with Eyesight. So what I do here is I'm going to push the button top right on the right spoke of the steering wheel. It looks like the image of a car and a little speedometer next to it. And, now each one of those horizontal bars represents 1 second of travel time. And you can increase and decrease that with the buttons on the left side of the right spoke of the steering wheel. It looks like some railroad tracks and an arrow up, some railroad tracks and an arrow down. Bottom one will decrease, top one will increase between 1 and 4 seconds. Now where things differ a little bit between, for example, us using this Outback versus if we had, for example, Impreza or something like that. On an Impreza, the lane, keep assist, or on this case, lane centering, it looks like a car with 2 vertical lines. This one looks like a steering wheel. But I will go ahead and activate that. That's going to actually use the cameras to monitor the lines on the road and physically adjust our steering to keep us centered. Now, with an Outback and Legacy though, these are the only 2 that are like this currently, the lane centering only works with cruise control, but it works at any speed between 0 and 87 miles an hour. Now what I'm going to do, once I can get up to speed here, I'm going to go ahead and toggle down on this little switch that says set. I'm just going to get up to a little speed, I can increase it here. So I'm going to toggle down set. Right now I'm set at 20 miles an hour. I'm going to go ahead and increase that speed up to 35 miles per hour. Now, this road right now is not an ideal road for lane centering. You guys just heard that beep. It just turned off for a second because I was having a hard time seeing the lines on the road. But right now, I'm set at 4 seconds. My speed is set to 35 miles per hour, but I'm only actually going 31 miles per hour. And I'll see this little image of a car in front of me, and that's that car right up here ahead of me that I'm locked onto. Now, because I'm locked onto the car and I'm driving an Outback, I do get the little green light that shows up here that's telling me I'm locked on, so that's to prevent me from having to look down constantly. Now still, I'm set to 35 miles per hour, but I'm only going, okay, now I'm going 35. I was going 34 miles per hour. But as this vehicle starts to slow down, I'm gonna slow down with it. And if I decreased my distance here, the seconds of travel time, I would be getting closer to that vehicle. So right now I'm slowing down. This is good. We've got a red light coming up here. I'm slowing down 32, 31, 30, 29, 26, 25, 24. Slowing down. I'm not touching the brake, mind you. I'm all the way down to 18, yet I'm still set to 35. 15, 14. Boom. 3 miles per hour. Still have not touched the brake, mind you. Now I'm at a total stop right now, and it is holding me in that vehicle. Now, so long as you have the electric parking brake, so this is not necessarily true for everything, but if you have the electric parking brake, it will say hold there. Now as this vehicle goes, I just hit resume. Right up here it says RES Plus, I hit resume, and it starts going. I didn't hit the gas, I didn't hit anything, and I'm on my way. Pretty cool. Now if you want to go ahead and turn off, and by the way, now the lane keep assist or lane centering is active right now. I can tell because the steering wheel says active and it's turned green, and I do feel quite a bit of resistance really just keeping me centered. Now it doesn't want you like going woohoo, all over the place. It will turn off after a few seconds when it senses you're not touching. But here we go, coming back up again. I'm still set to 35. I'm only going 24 right now. Slowing down, slowing down. Boom, didn't touch the brake, and we're good. Now, if you want to turn off the adaptive cruise control, all you do there is simply, I like to always tap the brake first, and then push that button top right again. The reason for that, you could just tap that button top right, but it just kind of like cuts your throttle a little bit, so it makes it just a little bit rougher. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now, hopefully you guys found this video to be helpful. So for more helpful videos like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you liked what you saw today, make sure to give us a like below. Now to check out our current inventory of new and used Subaru vehicles, visit our website at evanstonsubaru.com. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time on Evanston Subaru Today. Take care.